So thinking about the videos that I do, it's been a while since I did an actual physical media video. And while I haven't bought anything for a while, I do have a very large collection of DVDs, as you would have seen when I did the 10-part going through my DVD collection series. But I've never really looked at these, and these are a specific type of DVDs from the early days of DVDs when they first got released. And that is looking at these. These are snapper cases. So I am going to cue the new intro, and I will see you in a sec. So how did you like the new intro? It was a spur of the moment thing. I thought, oh, let's do a new intro because I'm in a different cavern now. So using the old cavern intro, I thought was a bit outdated. So there's the new intro, a bit more punk rock, a bit more, well, a bit less in your face. But yeah. So like I said, this is a video about looking at snapper cases, the DVDs of the early years of disc-based physical media, and I've got 16 here. I think I might have had more at some point, but I think I sold a lot years and years ago. So yeah, 16. I'm going to kick it off with the first one, which is Collateral Damage. This is Arnold Schwarzenegger's last film before he became governor of California. I think he did a couple of cameos while in office in like a Jackie Chan movie and some other stuff, but this was, I guess, his last starring theatrical action movie prior to becoming governor of California. It's rubbish, by the way. This film's crap. He kills like 2 people. It's an Arnie movie. It's a 15. He kills like two people. 10 times better than most other action films, says Paul Ross of News of the World. And we all know that Paul Ross is not a very good film critic, to be honest. Jonathan Ross, his brother, is a little bit better. Schwarzenegger's back. I think this came out after The Sixth Day. But yeah, this film's not great. He plays a fireman whose wife and daughter get blown up in a terrorist attack. And he goes on a roaring rampage of Arnold Schwarzenegger style revenge, where he doesn't actually do anything violent. It's from the director of Under Siege and The Fugitive, which is Andrew Davis, who's a very, very good director. Made the best of Steven Seagal's studio pictures, like did he make Nico? He did Under Siege, and I think he did Nico out and Under Siege, and there was another one as well, but I can't remember which one. But yeah, he's a good action director, and he directed The Fugitive, which is a great movie. So there you go. That's Collateral Damage. What I quite liked about these was that they had like stuff on the inside. Like, I'm not even sure if there's anything on the back area of it. No, it's just white and cardboard. Yeah, so there's Collateral Damage. And we have another action movie. This one's from 1993. It's a Sylvester Stallone movie, and it is the massively awesome Demolition Man, starring Stallone and Wesley Snipes, but also Sandra Bullock and Nigel Hawthorne. Dennis Leary's in it as well. Great movie, really good movie. Rob Schneider's in this. I think apparently this is the reason why Rob Schneider was in Judge Dredd as well. This is such a good film, directed by Marco Brambilla, written by who wrote it? Screenplay by Daniel Waters and Robert Reno and Peter M. Lenkov. Yeah, good movie, really good movie actually, really fun movie. Stallone plays John Spartan, who's a sergeant in the police force in 1999, I believe it is, New Year's Eve, and something goes wrong and a lot of people end up dying, and he gets frozen instead of being put into prison. But he gets frozen along with a psycho killer called Simon Phoenix, played by Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes gets thawed out in the year 2032, and the only way to catch a killer from the past is to use a cop from the past. So they unthaw John Spartan, and Spartan finds himself in this weird dystopian Los Angeles where like the #1 radio station is TV jingles from adverts and stuff. It's a very odd movie, but the action is so good. The script is great, and yeah, Demolition Man, badass movie. Fucking love it. And Arrow just announced that they're going to release it in 4K. So there's some of the artwork on the inside. Sandra Bullock's really good in this as Lelina Huxley, by the way. Then we have a Clint Eastwood movie. I can't remember much about this, but I know that he's a pilot who is hired to steal a Russian stealth ship. It's called Firefox. This is from the Clint Eastwood Collection. I had a few of these in the past, and I did sell them, quite a lot of them, because I either upgraded them to Blu-ray or got better versions of them on DVD, like Region 1 versions. This one, yeah, I have seen, I just don't remember a lot about it. Music composed and conducted by Maurice Jarre. Produced and directed by Clint Eastwood. Don't even know who else is in this, to be honest with you, because it doesn't even say. It's been a very long time since I watched this. It's an hour and 20 minutes, and it is a sort of Cold War thriller, I guess, with Clint Eastwood. But yeah, that's Firefox. And Angelina Jolie made a film called Foxfire, which is always confusing. There's the inside there, and artwork on the disc. These Clint Eastwood Collection releases were always pretty good. This is a John Wayne one as well, but can't be 100%. Then we have another Wesley Snipes movie, this time directed by Christian Duguay, and it is The Art of War. This is a Canadian action movie starring Wesley Snipes and Michael Biehn, Anne Archer, Maurice Shakin, Hiroyuki Tagawa, and Donald Sutherland. There's a really good shootout in a hallway in this, but I can't really remember much else about it. It did get a sequel, The Art of War 2, which I believe did also star Wesley Snipes. I'm not 100%. Christian Duguay is a fairly decent B-movie director from Canada, and he does a lot of like TV miniseries and stuff like that. I think he did like the Scanner Cop movies as well, or Scanners 2 and 3 maybe. Again, I'm not 100%. This is another film that I can't really remember a lot about, so it's one I'm probably going to rewatch. This is all of these, by the way, these snapper cases were released by Warner Brothers. I think there might have been one or two released by separate companies that were licensed by Warner Brothers. Yeah, Free Jack is... Yeah, because I got Free Jack here as well. It's released by Morgan Creek, but it's distributed by Warner Brothers. So there's the inside and the artwork on the disc. Yeah, like I said, I don't really remember a huge amount about it. Then we have this, and I watched this not so long ago. This film, again, is not very good, but it has that sort of weird fun factor for not being very good. This is a film directed by Andrew Sipes. It's produced by Joel Silver, and it's based on a novel by Paula Gosling, screenplay by Charlie Fletcher. Stars William Baldwin, Cindy Crawford, Stephen Burkoff, Christopher McDonald, and has music by Mark Mencina. And it is Fair Game. Fair Game is a action movie about a cop who has to protect Cindy Crawford, who is a corporate lawyer. Oh, Miami attorney, sorry. And William Baldwin is a homicide cop called Max Kilpatrick, determined to protect Kate when she's targeted by an ex-KGB operative played by Steven Berkoff. When does Steven Berkoff never play an ex-KGB operative or a Russian? But he did play Victor Maitland in Beverly Hills Cop. So if no one really, if you're not 100% sure on this movie, I would highly recommend watching Sylvester Stallone's film Cobra from 1985. It was directed by George P. Cosmastos and also stars Bridget Nielsen. It is the same story. It is the same. It's adapted from the same novel by Paula Gosling. Cobra is by far the better movie. Fair Game is cheesy, but it's fun. Just like if you're gonna watch one of the two, I would highly recommend Cobra. It's a better film, but Fair Game, yeah. On the inside, you have silver disc and some more artwork with the chapter selections on there. Next up is another Clint Eastwood movie, and this is one I watched just before we moved. Yeah, literally just before we moved, maybe the week before we moved. And it is another Clint Eastwood film, produced and directed by Clint Eastwood, written by James Carabassos, and it is a war movie. It's an army movie. It does have some war action in it, but it's more a military academy, military boot camp movie. It's called Heartbreak Ridge. Clint Eastwood plays a gunnery sergeant who is like a Korean War / Vietnam vet who he's insubordinate, so they ship him off to this boot camp, this army. They call it army base to train a group of Marines. Sorry, Marines, not army. Train a group of Marines in warfare, and he finds himself butting heads with the platoon. Well, is it platoon leader? But the CO or whatever it is, played by oh shit, what's his name? The one from People Under the Stairs. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember it. But it's a really good film, and it's got Mario Van Peebles in it as well. Yeah, good movie. Just really enjoyed this one. I've seen it a few times. It's been a long time since I did watch it, before the last time. But yeah, good movie. The war scenes at the end are pretty decent. It's all about the invasion of Grenada from, I think it was like 1983 or 1981. Eastwood is just scenery chewing awesomeness in this movie, and yeah, really good movie. On the inside we have just some camo action and the chapter selections with the artwork on the disc. Cool movie. I've seen this film many times now. This is a Richard Donner movie starring Mel Gibson, Jodie Foster and James Garner. It's Maverick. Maverick is great. Absolutely great. Reteams Mel Gibson with Richard Donner, who he worked with on Lethal Weapon. There's a very cool cameo by Danny Glover in this movie as well, which when you see it you'll be like, that's cool. Jodie Foster's great in this. James Garner's amazing in this. Mel Gibson's amazing in this. Who else is in it? Graham Greene plays the chief Indian in this movie, but just watch it because it's hilarious. James Coburn's in it. Alfred Molina. It's produced by Bruce Davey and Richard Donner. Written by... The reason this film is so good is because it was written by William Goldman. William Goldman is an incredible screenwriter. It's based on Maverick, created by Roy Huggins. Now, the original Maverick TV show starred James Garner, and it's really cool that he's in this as well. But yeah, this film's so good. It's so good. In fact, I might keep this out and watch it tonight. Is there a Blu-ray of this? Because I've never seen it. This one I also do have on Blu-ray. This was one of the first Blu-rays that I bought in the premium collection, actually, in the HMV premium collection. I bought this and Clash of the Titans and Krull, I think, were the first ones that I bought. And it's Excalibur. Directed by John Boorman. John Boorman's a great British director. Directed Deliverance and Point Blank with Lee Marvin from 1967, I think it was. This is a very cool 80s fantasy movie. Stars Nigel Terry, Helen Mirren, Nicholas Clay, Sherry Lungi, Paul Jeffrey and Nicole Williamson, but there's also a cameo, I say cameo, but there's also a role for, I think Liam Neeson is in this as well, and Patrick Stewart as well. Patrick Stewart's in this. Yeah, yeah, it's a good movie, but it has that early 80s sort of fantasy glow on it. If you watch something like the cheaper knockoff fantasy movies from the 80s, like Sword and the Sorcerer and Dungeon of Titty Bang Bangs or whatever the hell it's called, I don't. You'll know what I mean. There's a shine on it, and it's quite off-putting. But yeah, Excalibur's okay. It's not my favourite of the 80s fantasy movies. I would say that my favourite fantasy movie from the 80s is probably Krull, even though that's probably verging more on science fiction. But I mean, Legend's good. Oh no, my favourite fantasy movie from the 80s is clearly going to be Labyrinth. Then we have this is part 1, uncut collector's edition for mature audiences. This is not pornography. This is Todd McFarlane's Spawn. This is the animated series that came out in the late 90s, 1997, based on Todd McFarlane's Spawn character from the Image comics, which was created when McFarlane and Rob Liefeld and Jim Lee and 2 others left Marvel to create their own comic book studio called Image Comics, where they came up with the Wildcats, I think it was called. It's been a while since I've watched the documentary about it. Rob Liefeld created Deadpool. Tom McFarlane created Spawn. Jim Lee is just one of the greatest comic book artists of all time, and it clearly, out of all of the stuff that came from Image prior to them just basically becoming a publishing house for independent comic books, clearly McFarlane was the one to hit the big time with Spawn, which has spawned multiple comics and toy lines and collectors figures and stuff like that. So obviously it brings out McFarlane toys as well because of Spawn, and then you get the movie maniacs and stuff. So Spawn is quite an important character creation in the comic book industry. There was a movie from 1997 called Spawn, which starred Michael Jai White as Spawn, or what was his name? I can't remember the character's name. Al Simmons, there we go. So yeah, so Michael Jai White played Al Simmons in the live action Spawn movie with John Leguizamo playing Clown, Nicole Williamson as Cagliostro, I think it is. I enjoy that movie. A lot of people dislike it. I just think it's fun. It's not a great film, but it's fun. This is probably a more true to form and comic book accurate version of Spawn, voiced by Keith David, written by Alan McElroy and Gary Hardwick, executive produced by Todd McFarlane. I don't have the second part, because this is part 1, and there was a part 2. He was once a man, he's now a hellspawn. Battling the forces of evil on Earth and in himself. Using his strange powers, he fights to uncover the truth about his identity and fulfill his destiny. One of the comic book industry's most popular and intriguing characters, Spawn explodes on the screen in a maelstrom of fantastic imagery with action, romance, and high-level espionage. This is really cool. I really love the animation style on this animated series. There is the clown that was played in the live-action version by John Leguizamo. The animation style in this is very, very cool. If you've seen... What is it? It's Phil Collins... Land of Confusion. No, it's Land of Confusion. It's the song by Phil Collins. Well, Genesis song, Land of Confusion. But it's the disturbed version with the animated video that you'll see Todd McFarlane's animation style. I mean, it also sort of pops up. It looks very Todd McFarlane style when you watch Tank Girl during the animated sequences in that film, but I'm not 100% sure if they had anything to do with it, because that was 95, this is 97. They may have, I don't know. But the animated Spawn is pretty badass. There's a back, by the way. I had that figure as well. I bought it from Forbidden Planet, and now it's in a box somewhere. This next film is a great movie. I watched this again not so long ago. It was who wrote it? Screenplay by Tom S. Parker and Jim Genowen. Story by Tom S. Parker, Jim Genowen, and Richard Siegel. It's produced by James G. Robinson. It's directed by Peter Hyams. This film is great. It stars John Ritter, Pam Grier, Jeffrey Jones, and Eugene Levy. Love this movie. Great music by Bruce Broughton. It's Stay Tuned. This is the Region 1 release from Warner Brothers, but it was made by Morgan Creek, but distributed by Warner Brothers. This film is so good. It's about a couple who are obsessed. Well, a husband who is obsessed with TV and gets a huge satellite dish installed in his garden that may or may not be evil, and finds himself and his wife, played by what's her name, Pam Dorber. What did I say? I said Pam Grier, didn't I? It's Pam Dorber from Mork and Mindy. They get sucked into the TV and find themselves in different types of shows. It could be from live action, black and white, to animated and quiz shows and stuff like that. It's really, really good. And Jeffrey Jones sort of plays the devil, who is forcing them to go through this series of challenges, I guess. It's a really cool movie, and right at the end they've got spoofs of TV shows as well. Love. Stay tuned. Really like to see this get a Blu-ray in the UK, because I think it's getting a 4K, I'm not sure. There's the inside, as you can see, they turn into like animated mice and stuff. Very cool movie, very cool. I might have to see if I can get a replacement case for that. This is one I do have on Blu-ray. It was an upgrade that I upgraded last year for the first time ever, because I had never owned this film on high definition format, and this film is fucking amazing. Probably the best non-Disney animated film from the 90s, and it's The Iron Giant. This was directed by Brad Bird, who directed the Expendables movies. No, not the Expendables movies, that's Sylvester. The Incredibles movies. Incredibles 1, 2, and is there a third one? I'm not sure. I think there is. Really, really cool movie. Love this film. The animation style on this is absolutely stunning. You have the voices of Jennifer Aniston, Harry Connick Jr., John Mahoney from Frasier, and Vin Diesel as the Iron Giant. The Iron Giant was so popular. Is so popular in sort of family and cult fiction now, I guess, that you see this interpretation of the Iron Giant in showing up in popular things like I I think the Iron Giant is in a game, but he also makes an appearance, quite a big appearance, in Ready Player One as well, directed by Steven Spielberg. This is so good. It's based on the short story or the novel by Terry something. I cannot remember. It was a novelist, I think. But yeah, the Iron Giant's incredible. Like I said, I do have this on Blu-ray. There's the animation style. One thing for me when it comes to 2D animation is I am a big fan of non-Disney animation. I love the Disney movies, don't get me wrong, but when you look outside of Disney and you find things like the Iron Giant, or like the stuff in the 80s like Rock and Roll and Heavy Metal, and the Ralph Bakshi stuff like what's it called, Fire and Ice, and American Pop, even the Don Bluth stuff, Anastasia, and Penguin and the Pebble and the Penguin, and Titan AE, like the stuff that is not necessarily Disney, well, it's not Disney, but it's still 2D animation. Just like, it blows my mind that because they weren't Disney, they don't get the same sort of exposure and love that they so rightly deserve. But the Iron Giant is incredible. This film I've never seen. I've owned this film for a very long time. This was bought in a sort of batch of other movies, and it's Zero Effect, starring Bill Pullman and Ben Stiller. This was directed by Jake Kasdan, who I think went on and directed. He's the one who's directed the latest Ghostbusters movies, Ghostbusters Afterlife and Frozen, whatever it's called. I haven't watched that either yet. So I can't really talk much about this because I haven't seen it. But I know that Bill Pullman plays the world's most private detective called Daryl Zero, and that's about all I know. It's got Kim Dickens in it and Ryan O'Neal. I will hopefully at some point get around to watching this. Again, this is the Region 1 release. Yeah, 116 minutes. Who knows? Then we have another Region 1 Snapcase, and this film I have seen, and I really enjoy this film. It is a 70s or 80s, 1978 this film came out. This is a action comedy directed by Hal Needham and starring Burt Reynolds and Jan Michael Vincent. It is the film Hooper. This is a film about a stuntman. Also has Sally Field, Brian Keith, and Robert Klein in it. Written by Thomas Rickman and Bill Kirby. Directed by Hal Needham. Hal Needham was originally a stunt coordinator, but also directed, I think it was... What else did he direct? I think he did the Smokey and the Bandit films, but don't quote me on that. I think that's what he did. But this is really, really cool, this film. There's some really good car chases in it, and I think it has, at the time for this, it had the world record for the highest... Yeah, there we go. Well, he learns the record for a fall is 223 feet. And he says, I'll go to 224. 223 to 224, he says. And I think this film, for a while, actually did hold the record for the longest, well, from the highest fall from a helicopter. Obviously not performed by Burt Reynolds, but yeah, it's a cool movie. Jan Michael Vincent's in this Airwolf, but post Damnation Alley, and before the alcohol and drugs kicked in. But yeah, very cool film, very fun movie. I have this love of 70s Burt Reynolds movies like this, and Smokey and the Bandit 1 and 2. What else is there? There's White Lightning and Gator, and some other ones as well. Ones with the car chases in. But yeah, Hooper's really, really cool. I really like that film. There's only 3 left now. This one's a really funny comedy from 2001. Sorry, 2000. It's directed by Howard Deutsch, who I think is Zoe Deutsch's father, is married to Leah Thompson. This is a film starring Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman. It's The Replacements. This is a very fun little American football movie. This came out, I think, just after The Matrix, and there was a couple of movies around that time that Keanu Reeves had done, which is The Replacements, and I think it's called Hardball, which had a little Bow Wow in it. He played a kids baseball coach or something. It's been, I don't know. But this also has Orlando Jones, Brooke Langton, Rhys Ifans, who's amazing in it, and saviour of Star Wars at one point, Jon Favreau. Fun movie. This is again another film that I really enjoy, that I haven't seen for a while. I really like football movies, like American football movies, especially the comedy ones, like Wildcats with Goldie Hawn. That's a really fun movie. It's got an early appearance from Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson in that film as well. And then there's Gridiron Gang's really, really good. I wasn't fussed on Friday Night Lights. Didn't really like that. Maybe because I'm just not a fan of Peter Berg as a director. But this is a fun movie. And worth checking out. Keanu Reeves is great in this. Gene Hackman is just... Gene Hackman's amazing in everything, and it's such a shame that he retired, but I can understand he's in his 90s now. But that's no excuse. Clint Eastwood's still going, and William Shatner's 93. And then we have one more Region 1 release in a snapper case, and it is 1992's massive box office failure, Free Jack, starring Emilio Estevez and Mick Jagger and Anthony Hopkins. This is a time travel sci-fi action movie that is not great, but if you're a fan of like these sort of dystopian 90s sci-fi action films, it's worth having a watch. This ain't great. It's not great. Free Jack's okay. I mean, there's a couple around the same time, like this one, and what was the one with? There was another one as well. Oh, No Escape with Ray Liotta. That's pretty. Ray Liotta. That's pretty good. So that's Free Jack. And the last one, and you can see this, I got this in a 3 for $18 from Choices, and it was $7.99 on its own. And this is one that I have recently upgraded to Blu-ray, and it's The Fugitive, directed by Andrew Davis, starring Harrison Ford and Celia Ward, Joe Pantoliano, Andreas Catalouslus, Jerome Crabb, and obviously a brilliant Oscar winning? Did he win an Oscar for it? Maybe he won the Oscar for it. Role by Tommy Lee Jones. Good movie. Just such a good film. Had a sequel to it called US Marshals, which starred Tommy Lee Jones and Robert Downey Jr. and Wesley Snipes, and that's the more I watch that film, the more I really, really enjoy that film. So there's another snapper. That's the last of the snappers, I think. I may have a few more. I'm not 100% sure. I thought I had all of them here, but there's 16 there. So that's the snapper case video of my time as a movie collector, I guess. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for everyone who's latched on to the Make Your Own film festival video. It seems to have snowballed through to a lot of people, which is really good, but I think it kind of got lost in translation. The idea was to make a film festival with 6 movies. Those movies could be anything you wanted. It did not necessarily have to be the same genre as mine, as 80s science fiction or sci-fi fantasy, which I think got lost in translation when I tagged everything home theatre, because then he tagged Matt at Secondhand Home Theatre, and Matt did an 80s science fiction one as well as everything home theatre. The idea was to just choose 6 movies, any 6 movies you wanted that you could play at a film festival over 2 nights. So 3 movies one night, 3 movies another night. But yeah, I mean, I've seen some great videos. Like Matt's was pretty good. Everything home theatre was pretty good. Sammy G's World of Cinema, he's just done uploaded one as well. That was really good. Blu-ray Movies, he did one which was great. Nerdy Geezer, who I tagged, Lee, did a really good Stallone versus Schwarzenegger film festival, which I sort of knew he was probably going to do that. And I knew his choices as well. I could guess his choices. But yeah, that's really, really good. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching the video and listening to the podcast. There was a bit of an audio issue on the last podcast. I don't know what happened. I recorded it a different way. So I recorded it through my microphone. But instead of recording it through the laptop on Audacity, I recorded it through Dolby Plus on my iPad. And it sounded okay, but then when I uploaded it, there was a lot of like bumping in the background, so I don't know what happened. I'll have to have a look at a way of doing, see if I can change that so it doesn't happen next time. But hope you all had a great week. I've been Pedro. This is Pedro's Movie Cavern. As usual, I'm going to give you a salute. I'm going to throw up the peace sign, and I'm going to tell you I'm out. Cheers, everyone.